We'll go live because this is a long one. You'll see. Cappy, thanks for reading my request before I begin. That was weird. I have compiled a short list of my attributes for you to review. Name, Mike, age 23, Gen Z, IQ 136, total spurg and tart, Dude, don't fucking do this. Guys, don't do this. If you're going to ask a philosophical question, I don't need details like this, like a fucking computer readout. It just screams spurg. All right? Education, you got a finance degree, you're in accounting, pay all bills, no debt, good credit score, paying off credit cards, overall Cleary test score 0.5. I don't care, man. Guys, I got so little time. As the above metrics show, I'm doing better than most people my age. I hope you will take those factors into account when billing. No, I did. I charged a little bit more because it's annoying. My problem is unique in nature, not the kind you usually tackle in your channel. As the theological, philosophical dilemma is very esoteric. The reason I'm coming to you, an agnostic deist such as yourself, and not a pastor or professor, because I believe they will either BS me or have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about. Yes, that is true. They have a vested interest to be biased. In fact, I brought this topic up to a youth pastor. Oh, that's like early childhood education or special ed, except Christian or Muslim or Jewish, whatever. Youth pastor. And he just went glassy-eyed on me. I've decided that I need an asshole with superior intelligence to give me his 2 cents. I'll now explain my... Dude, fucking get to the point! We're like 2 paragraphs in. Well, Aaron, why are you so angry? I don't know. I mean, this is like driving in traffic, just slow people. It's unnecessarily stopping in the middle of the road. Why? They saw a butterfly. I will now explain my problem. Now, keep in mind for listeners, you don't see this. It just keeps going. Not a paragraph, not organized. IQ 136. You guys can get so much lower pricing if you just put together cogent, succinct requests without bullshit up front. Paragraph. I've been a Christian my entire life, having been validly baptized at 17. The entire time I did what most Protestant evangelicals did, read my Bible, went to church, what I would accept whatever the local Baptist pastor would tell me regarding the faith. It wasn't until my senior year of college I started to do an in-depth study of both the origin of the Bible as well as church history. Oh, so you did learn about the Council of Nicaea. While the canonization of the Bible is deep and messy topic, it didn't unnerve me as much as the ecclesiastical history portion of my research. What I discovered was not what I had anticipated. A total of 1,500 plus years of continual Christian tradition that had absolutely nothing in common with Protestant salvation theology or worldview. Well, that's why Martin Luther separated from the Catholics. It's like, you guys are frauds is what it was, basically. The truth of the matter is that there was no corruption by Emperor Constantine. There was not a suppression of the true Christian faith for 1.5 millennia. There was no cabal of corrupt clerics intent on creating a worldwide pagan religion. It simply did not happen. While this may make sense to you, I assure you that it was alarming to me. I had been conditioned my entire life just to accept that the Bible alone was our one true sole authority, and everyone that believed otherwise was a heretic. Schools also didn't help out, highlighting only the bad moments from the Catholic Middle Ages and none of the good. Most concerning were actions of Father Martin Luther. Here's a short list of some of the things he has been said to have done. Remove 7 books from the Old Testament that had been in there since the 4th, 5th century canonization: Tobit, Judith, Baruch, Wisdom of Solomon, Sirach, and 1st and 2nd Maccabees. Adding the word alone to Romans 3:28 in order to be more in line with his theology, threatening to burn the book of James because it appeared to contradict his ideas. Called Jesus a drunk and an adulterer in his notes, called the massacre of the countless people in the... I didn't know this about Martin Luther. Like when we were in parochial school, we all celebrated the 95 Theses Day. Called for the massacre of countless people in the German Peasant War, 300,000 killed. Wrote a book titled On the Jews and Their Lies. Well, they did kill the main guy. You know, maybe they're still a little sore about that back in those times. Although it was 1,500 years later. Which is said to have inspired Hitler. Well, there are disputes to some of these claims. See, you did a paragraph here, but not then you go back to no paragraphs. Well, the dispute to some of these claims, his writings alone said very troubling things. He was a very vengeful and harsh person who did not seem to show mercy to his enemies. Oh, you mean like the Wisconsin Synod? Huh. He basically called the Pope an antichrist for not accepting his ideas. It caused a lot of turmoil in Europe. As of this day, there are between 500,000 different Christian denominations compared to only roughly 4 at the time of Reformation. There's also the fact that his movement abrogated teachings consistent with Christianity from its inceptions until his time, including transubstantiation, confession, and apostolic succession. We as Christians are more divided than ever. I'd say you're fractured. You're all splintering off into whatever political. I mean, I've said this before. About 95% of all religious people, but as reference to Christians when I originally observed this, are not Christians. They're not true Muslims, Jews, Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, environmentalists. They just want to be part of a club. Only 5% of the people are actually genuine believers in that religion. The rest are doing it for ulterior motives that have nothing to do with the afterlife, salvation, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Yahweh. It has nothing. It's all about belonging to a team. That's it. And as you've seen in the United States with more freedom and democracy, now they have basically taken, like I think the Methodists are most known for this, where you can have gay marriage, which I'm all for. Because I'm a secularist. I don't care, people should have the right. But we're Christian, but we're going to do gay marriage. We have a gay pastor. It's like, wait a minute. Well, I've always referenced, I think it's St. Mark's in Minneapolis. They would baptize the animals, like your pets. No, you're, again, I'm not Christian, but you're leaving the book. You're leaving the Bible. You're going against what it says. So how much do you really believe in your religion? And then you find out it has nothing to do with religion. It all has to do with forming a club so they can belong and have spirituality without actually having to do any of the hard work. Like, for example, I would never become Muslim, but one of the main reasons, like it would be a deal breaker of the many deal breakers is I'm not praying 5 times a day. I don't have time. Like, I'm just not doing it. It's just not going to happen. And how many, let's ask our fellow Muslims, how many of you actually bow down to Mecca 5 times a day like you should, right? And so it's like, it's a club. That's what it functionally is. And so particularly in Western countries where they're not a theocracy, it's not as harsh or strict. People can manipulate and take the name of a religion and form it into whatever it is that they want. How many pastors are also members of communist parties or communist organizations. And they turn it to like, give us more money, but with Christ, plus Christ. And so this decay has been going on for quite some time. And even beforehand, I'd say most people didn't really believe. But now I would say, a debauched society, even religion is not safe. That can be co-opted by people who have ulterior political, financial, psychological, social, psychosocial motives, and it's bastardized. It's no longer, and it's merely a facade. It's merely dressing at that time. You're LARPing. That's what it is. It's Christian or Buddhist or Muslim or Jewish LARPing. That's what you're doing. I remember banging this one gal, and then we went to church. She went to Catholic mass. We were like, "You want to go to mass?" I'm like, "What? Wait, what? About now?" I'm confused, but all right. I've never been to mass. Oh my God, is this long and a lot of aerobics? Oh, I don't understand why people don't go to mass. Any of you have been to mass? Sit up, kneel down, do it. Just stand up, kneel down, do it back up. No, kneel, sit down, jumping jacks, push-ups, pull-ups, sit, kneel. Kneel, sit, up, stand, down, sit, kneel. Here comes the guy with the funny hat and some incense. And that's mass. And this may be affecting society, Christians being more divided than ever. Since the Reformation, we've seen a slow decrease in piety. Now that everyone has a Bible in their hands, anyone can decide what they want to believe. This has led to people accepting ideas that were not even within the realm of possibility in the 16th century, including women, preachers, divorce, accepting abortion, not excommunicating sinners, because everyone is born again in safety. Yeah, I'm very familiar with this observation you had. And this has led to society slowly becoming less and less moral. Back in the day, you could be forgiven by God if you confessed your sins, but faced a stint in purgatory if you didn't make reparations for your actions. With born-again theology, there are no consequences. Single mothers and deadbeat millennials can always claim that God has a plan. I see you've dated many Christian women. I see you have... I don't think God wants me to date you. Well, then don't date me, but I like it. Well, then date me, Jesus Christ. Why do you have to curse so much? Oh, just go away. I won't sleep with you, but I'll sleep with him. We'll be one gal, single mom, born again. Well, just so you know, I don't have premarital sex. Well, how did you become a mother? Well, that was in my bad times, and now I found Christ. Oh, fuck off. Born again. Millennials can always claim that God has a plan and are able to get away with being parasites. People could cheat, steal, and lie. They are never seriously called out on it. Before you ask, the only reason I have not jumped ship already is because I also see problems in the modern Catholic Church. Because of the reforms in the 1960s, the institution has been going downhill rapidly, and the current Pope is... the Pope's a communist. That's all he is. It's just like, hey, I'm a Latin Pope. Free crap, because it worked so great for South America and Venezuela, didn't it? Pope has said a lot of very concerning things. The result is that I am in a state of cognitive dissonance where I accept that a lot of what I have been told doesn't add up, but I can't fully accept the alternative because the Pope is contradicting himself and he is supposed to be infallible. These are my questions. All right, I'm going to go through them one by one. Based off my analysis, is it logical to be questioning Protestantism the way I have been? Could the reformers have been dead wrong? All right, sit down, kid. Going to lay down a hard truth for you. All religion is wrong. It's all bullshit. Ain't no religion got it right. Nobody knows. Religion came about because in the anarchy times and the warlord times, it was let's just all kill everybody and might made right. And then some savvy guy said, hey, if I see, people are afraid of death. And if I claim I know what's going to happen after death, that there's an afterlife, you're immortal, but you got to do what I tell you, we could form a religion. And what you'll find out in the very, Mesopotamia, the Assyrians, the Hittites, whatever gods they were worshiping, it was religion that was used to get people in the fucking line and to have ordered and civilized society. If you did a bad thing, this is all religion. If you don't believe me, go look at all the religions and look at their rules. And by gosh, they seem to be eerily similar to the Ten Commandments. You can't have people killing each other. You can't have people stealing things. You can't have people coveting each other's wives. You can't lie. You can't steal. And it's kind of, and it's almost like they're laws. And who, in between the warlord anarchy times and democracy, what was the main form of government? Theocracy. Still around today. Go visit the Middle East. So it had nothing to do with it's dude, you're believing in a fairy tale, and I'll have matching donors if you get scientific proof on the scientific method, and you prove that there is a God and that there is a religion, and it's the Jehovah Witnesses, they were right. I'll give you $1,000, and they'll come in here. Well, the Bible says, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Nobody fucking knows. No one. Every one of you knock it the fuck off. This is one reason why I like it when they call a church faith, because that's what it is. It's a faith. It's not facts. It's not data. It's not statistic. It's not a geometric theorem. God doesn't come down like, hey, everybody, it's real. Look at me. And here's my buddy, JC. Tell him, son. Yeah, I died on the cross. It was real. Haven't seen shit in 2,000 years. And then whatever Jews and Muslims believe, okay, well, I took a class on it, religions of the world, I don't remember. But, where are the miracles? Where's the supernatural shit? You don't see any of it. So, is it logical for you to be questioning Protestantism? Yeah, but you should be questioning all religions, all of it. My God, these books were not written until 100 or 200 AD. quite significant time after Christ presupposedly died. But Mary and Joseph, or not Mary and Joseph, Mary Magdalene, they witnessed the stone was moved. Oh, well, that's good enough for me to believe that this supernatural thing happened. Because three people that may or may not have existed claim, they reported that there was no body in the tomb after the big stone was moved 2,100 years ago. No room for misinterpretation or falsification of data. There's no chance of that. And so the Pope is not infallible. The Pope is a con man, part of a larger con thing called the Catholic Church, who maybe he really believes in it. And I envy people who are religious, including the pastors, clerics, imams, rabbis. If you guys believe it, God bless you, man. I envy you. I wish I had your faith. I wish I could just have that comfort. All right. Before those of us living in the real world, all right, it's bullshit. And the second you can prove that one religion is right, you'll be the happiest. You'll make the world happy, because then we'll know, like, oh, we got to worship boppity bop, whole new God, boppity bop. What does he do? Creates things. He goes, hey guys, yeah, no, that's all wrong. He's, oh, I'm showing. Okay, watch. Snap. Thanos snaps. I go, whoa. Okay, yeah, and there's half the population back. So just they didn't even know they were gone. But did you see how I killed half the people? Brought them right back. Yeah, I'm pretty much God. All right, bravo. What do you want us to do, bobbity bob? Not kill each other. Be fruitful, multiply. You know, preferably girls stay thin. But you know, I'm giving you free will and free choice. 2, in your opinion, is the Catholic Orthodox position more consistent in the sense that they focus on salvation as a continual process instead of a one-time emotional event? Does it make society more moral? Yes, in that regard, I would agree with you. Where you require penitence, I believe is the word, but apology and paying a price, and of course you could do good deeds as well. Yes, it is a continual. You cannot just murder a bunch of little kids and then, oh, I believe Jesus died for me, I'm forgiven. No. Not only because it's ethically, morally wrong and weak, society would not be able to function that way, but that is the biggest flaw of Christianity. Protestantism is just like, well, you're forgiven. Really? Okay. And then it, as you see, is taken advantage of by false born-again types. I know I had 3 kids from 4 different fathers, but, you know, Jesus found me and I'm a born again. Dude, look at it. Born again virgins. Look it up. The virgin angel came and playing your hymen is back. Saving myself for Christ again. Even though Chad and Tyrone and Raphael were all there. I would also say Orthodox, the word also meaning traditional, they kept to their traditions closer than, you know, the pot smoke induced variants that you see in America. Like, I think the Greek Orthodox Church or the Russian Orthodox Church are most traditional and most consistent. So I have a lot of respect for Islam in that they are traditional. And I disagree heavily with their traditions, but they stick with it. They're not, oh yeah, well, you can have the cool hip Islam mosque that allows for gay pastors. No, no. There was reasons why 1,600 years ago, no, 1,500 years ago, this guy came up with these rules. We're sticking with it, and that's tradition. It maintains the integrity of the religion. But I would say the more orthodox and traditional, the more accurate. And I just being a philosopher, there's always balance in the world. You cannot just commit atrocious crimes against humanity and then like, oh, this guy up, it's all good. You're a weak hypocrite who's incapable and is a coward of feeling guilt. And that does not improve society. You need people who have screwed up. They know they screwed up and they're sorry and they change their behaviors for the better. Does it make society more moral? Yes. Not religiously moral, like ethically moral. When you have to pay a price for mistakes you've made and know why you did it wrong, that results in better people and better society. Do you think that the Protestant pastors, primarily the big ones, purposely evade talking about the stuff to keep their cushy jobs and salaries? It depends on the pastor. It really does. And what branch of Protestantism? The Lutherans, I would say probably a little bit more legitimate than the Methodists. I think it's the Methodists. Because those are always the ones that are like, hey, we're separating from the main church because we want to have whatever lesbians preach, which again, as a libertarian, I'm all for, but ironically, it contradicts what you're trying to do. You think Protestant? So the further away you remove yourself from the original scripture of whatever religion, the less valid it is. And I don't care what religion it is. And then it does become more financially motivated. Although some people might be ideologically, not religious, where they actually believe in it. It's their ideology. And you see this a lot with people where all they have is their religion. They don't even believe in God or Jesus or Yahweh or whoever. It's just that they're a Christian, and that's their identity because they've probably done nothing else. And so as long as they got that, I'm a pastor, how many of these people became ordained ministers from Joe Bupkis Internet School of Immediate Clerical Certification? You ever run into a gal that claimed to be not a vegan, a pagan? No. Who are the girls that are really good in the sack, guys? Help me out. They claim to be witches or priestesses. What is it? It's not paganism. Oh, I know. You guys all know. It's in the chat room. But I've dated two of them. Great in the sack. Complete hypocrites. Have nothing to do with religion or spirituality. Do you think the Protestant Reformation was a catalyst for a lot of problems we see today in the Western world? Rampant divorce, children. No, that happens in Catholicism too. It was what would be the original. Well, no, the original fracture would be between the Roman Catholic Church, I believe, the Greek Catholic Church, which, if I'm not wrong, was Byzantium, Eastern Roman Empire. Help me out, people more educated about history. There was an early split, and that went Eastern Orthodox, and then you had Rome Catholic. Then in 1591, you had the Protestant Reformation. And ever since then, there's been splits and stuff like that. So in a sense, yes, it was a catalyst. And if I had to guess what was more debauched and removed from the original teachings of Christ, I would say the Protestant branch of Christianity is further removed from the authenticity of the Bible. Really? No. How do I not answer? Okay. There. I got a new phone. And based on what I've seen, at least in the United States, it might be different in different countries. Catholics are a little bit more serious, a little bit. Remember the Catholic girl? I banged all night, and then we go to mass. I just pointed it out. But it is the Protestant variations and subdivisions, and we're the Seventh-day Baptist, Lutheran, Methodists. We're the Episcopalians. And the further and further removed and split you get, the further and further you get away from it. So in that regard, yes, the Protestant Reformation resulted or caused this branch that centuries later would become more debauched. I would say it's Western society that has resulted in Christians, or quote Christians, being less devout than it is the branch. But yes, that split back there created a branch that would grow faster into debauched behavior than the traditional Catholics. But the Catholics are a very, very close second. Catalyst. Any advice on overcoming my cognitive dissonance without abandoning my faith? No, you're waking up. You're finding out it's all bullshit. I have here's the the best thing I ever heard came from Dennis Prager about religion. He says, proof? There is no proof. You have to believe. You have to have faith. That's why it's called faith. That's the first honest guy. He practiced to be a rabbi. That's the first and I think only time I heard a man of the cloth from a major religion tell me that, to admit that. We have no proof. Thank you. Now, if we start from that seed of truth, maybe you might actually have a religion. And so I am not against religion because, and I always said men need two things in life, vice and religion, because you got to figure out what happens to you after. You have to figure out what you believe. My cancer scare, I mean, I always contemplated and had to, the cancer scare I had made that very rapid and apparent. You know what? Still waiting for people to give me the answer, and ain't nobody got it. But the closest it's ever come is like, look, we don't know. And it depends on what you want to believe. You know, go research all the religions. What is in your heart? What do you believe that it was Yahweh that still has, I don't know. He never made an appearance. He just punished the Israelites if they screwed up. That's because the Old Testament is shit. We had to study that. If you want to believe Jesus died for your sins, you want to believe Allah did whatever he did. If you kill people that aren't like you, and then you get into heaven, you get 72 virgins, or whatever however you get into Muslim heaven. I don't know what the Buddhists believe. I don't know what the Taoists believe, and I don't know what the Hindus believe. I think it's the elephant god, the guy with all the arms. But you're basically realizing it's all bullshit. There is no facts. There is no truth. It was highly politicized back then. I mean, you look at what the Romification did to Christianity. I think it was Constantine. I think he was like, hey, we're Christians now. Oh, all right. Weren't we murdering them last week and feeding them to lions? Yeah, but I changed my mind. Okay. Well, and so sit down, figure out read the text, read the scriptures, read the Bible, read the Torah, read the Quran, read whatever you want. And whichever one sounds the most honest and truthful, which means it's going to suck. Like, you see, Protestant Christianity, like, oh, Jesus just forgives and kumbaya and hold hands. Oh my God, we're so amazing. No. Doesn't adhere to that universal law of equilibrium and karma. But if it sounds like, yeah, there's hell. If you screw up, you better do 20 Hail Marys. And okay, that's not like, hey, you screw up and cut off your hand. Whoa, that's pretty serious. They're not messing around over there in Syria. Okay, all right. Well, one is probably a little bit more serious than the other. And I would argue the more serious and mature it is, and the less puppy, flunny flower bunnies bite and bail you out with your stimmy checks or your student loan balance, the less it sounds like Joe Biden or Andrew Yang, the better a religion it is, the more authentic it would be. And it may not get you to heaven or the afterlife, which you're never going to figure out anyway, but it will actually make you a better human being. 6, do you have any general advice and thoughts on what I have said? I'm overthinking this or missing something. No, you're missing something. You're missing that no religion is correct. No religion has proof. Nobody knows. And you were from a little kid, and I shouldn't be so hard on you because it was the same thing with me. My dad was a pastor. Of course we were Christian because I was going to burn in hell if I didn't. I knew that at 3 years old. Great way to get kids interested in Christianity. You'll burn in hell if you don't eat your peas. Oh, okay. Why do I have to like the long-haired, hippie, bearded guy who looks like a pedophile? Because if you don't believe in him, you'll burn in hell. Okay. Really not liking this thing here. Maybe there's something else. Yeah, introduce the concept into your thought process that maybe it's all bullshit. I don't think you're overthinking it, though. I mean, you've actually gone back and researched this and studied it. That's exactly what you should do. You're going to start running into problems, though, like, well, what's the Jewish translation and the Greek translation and the Latin translation? I mean, there's some, you want to go back far enough. Your King James, the Gideon Bible, which one are you going to believe? But you're going to go back, and it's going to be a mess trying to figure out what was truth back then, what was actually written. So no, I don't think you're overthinking it. I think you're missing a key formula, but what if it's all BS? Please let me know the price and time frame of request. I understand you're not Christian, but if you could humor me with this, would be awesome. Love the channel. All right, yeah, no problem, man. Just knock it off with this Spurg stuff of I am it, and learn to use paragraphs. You're using it about half the time. All right, super chats. We are going to have probably missed super chat video later on. Ben Jones, Protestantism is corporatism. I attend weekly and volunteer, but it's hard to stay motivated to attend fellowship with other believers above church. Yeah, that's that's what I said. Well, why are you going to church then, Ben? If it's about the fellowship, I understand fellowship is important, but should it be JC? Island Hermit RP for $2. But Cappy, God done did it. 666. He done did. He did it. God done did it. God did done. Yeah, it. Oh, I wish we could be like, who, like, I envy his fictional character, Ned Flanders. Like, that would be the coolest guy to be, because he actually believes he's a good man. He works hard. He has no doubt. But, for every Ned Flanders in every Christian church or every religion, there's at least 100 frauds and fakes. He's always forgiving and tolerating Homer. Oh, the Leftorium. Oh. DJ Aftershock. It was the Episcopalians with the gay pastors. Whoever. I'm sure it's fractured. It's basically Lutherans and not Lutherans. And the not Lutherans are like the Baptists and all these other minor league hockey teams. Money Shot Wiccan, thank you. Wiccan priestess. Great to fuck. Horrific to date. Do not date. Do not date a Wiccan priestess. Oh, God, I wonder if there's even hot Wiccan priestesses anymore. I mean, they were great. They were good-looking gals, and they were mad in the sack. And now what? I'm imagining they all got purple hair and tattoos. Did you know, Matt, for $2? You do the Lord's work, Cappy. Bless your soul. Well skewered, sir. Well skewered. Oh. The Lord's work. Nonstop Dre, our well-endowed, blessed by the Lord black man with the huge miracle penis. He has the miracle penis. Do you think most would cause chaos without religion? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I mean, religion compared to anarchy, and just starting to look at what happens when we get democracy and secularism, it just goes down to give me other people's free shit. I want other people to work for me, and I want to be a parasite. So religion is definitely, if you ask, do I want a society with or without religion? Assuming it's not Islam, I will take religion because it has some, like a real religion, not, oh, we're baptizing your pet wiener dog today type of, but like fire and brimstone, costs and consequences, rules and laws, because it provides order. It also threatens people with like, hey, you better be on good behavior because the cops aren't always going to watch and make sure you're doing what you got to do. But and then as you grow older, become a man, you start to realize, oh, there's good reasons we do this beyond religion and beyond because it's the right thing to do. But if we don't do it, then our family suffers, society suffers, my neighbor suffers. So I do believe religion. Yeah, if we didn't have religion, or if we didn't have a really good secular enforced law, but ultimately there has to be like this high, to get the masses, there has to be this higher spiritual meaning and purposeful. And right now you see that happening in the United States and the West as well, where predominantly women, but some men too, they're replacing what is a religion that has no proof that it exists with another religion that has no proof that it exists. It's called communism and socialism. I mean, if there's anything, there's proof it really doesn't work. But that's their new religion, or environmentalism, or veganism, or feminism, or whatever else. But yeah, a world without structure and order is going to be worse than one than with it, regardless of what bogus rationale you force that order on society through whatever religion. DJ Aftershock, 2% or $2. Protestants, 58% Republican, Catholics, 52 to 54% Democrats. Yeah, okay. Because the Pope told them to. How much you want to bet them Catholics ain't tithed 10% of their income, huh? There's the real sign of a real Christian. Let me ask you, Klein, do you tithe 10% of your money like you're supposed to? That's the real mark. That's the real mark of a real religious person. All right, guys, I'm not doing any more $2 ones. We're gonna do 5 or more. I got other stuff to do. Zach Capone too. I'll get these out of the way, but $5 more after this. The Carlson School of Theology. Yeah, that. Mexi Mike Spurg out time. I'm freaking out, man. Nonstop Dre with the miracle penis. $2 at 3 years old. Wow, is that why you beat dogs? Yeah, no, racist. No. I'm racist because I was born white, and apparently we're all racist. You know, forget how many people you've helped out, what you've done, and you got good friends that are different races. It doesn't matter. If you got this color skin, you're racist. And apparently beat dogs too. Mexi Mike, $2. Yes, SF, San Francisco. No, stupid Flanders. I don't remember that episode. Wando, €2. Thou shalt not hit 4-legged creatures. All right, get them all out, boys. Get them all out of your system. Ahmed Khan, $2. Why not in Islam? It provides proper structure. Yeah, too much structure. And there was the golden era of Islam, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong. Again, I've been listening to a lot of ancient history stuff. From like 1100 to about 1250 AD, there was like this golden era, and they're discovering science and chemistry and algebra and all this other stuff. And then the library in Baghdad, unfortunately, like the library in Alexandria, got burnt down. But more recently, have you seen how the Sunnis and the Shiites are at each other? And unless you're in Dubai or Qatar or something like that, it's kind of a shithole. It's this whole let's murder and be pissed off all the time. That's where I kind of, and of course, not all Muslims are like that. But when I look at the Mideast, I'm like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that. Although it's getting real close where it's like, I follow your rules. You don't cut my hands off. You let me be. I go and I bow down 5 times and society stays stable. That's starting to sound a lot better than a bunch of fat, nagging, harpy shrews over here accusing me of every Istanism in the world. So it's not there yet, but when the rest of the Middle East looks more like Dubai and not Tehran, then I'll consider it. Living there, I won't believe it. All right, that's it. We have a super sticker. Boy, got that. All right. Questions, answers, hassleconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.